Hey y'all, welcome to Pleiadian Point of View. I'm Peyton with Peyton Energetics, and I'm a Pleiadian channel and starseed coach. So in today's point of view, the Pleiadians wanted to talk to us about another tool that has recently become available to us. So if you have been on your spiritual path for a while, one of the things that you may have noticed as you've gone about doing your inner work is that you'd had to do a lot of kind of internal digging to solve any issues that were coming up. So when you were trying to release limiting beliefs, you would have to dig around through your history, trying to figure out what you believe and where this all started and who put this in your head, right? The early parts of our spiritual journey have been kind of characterized by us having to figure it all out, to try to make what is unconscious conscious. But according to the Pleiadians, and what they wanted to chat with us about in today's point of view, is to tell us about a new option that is available to us. And that is a process of turning things over to our master consciousness. So previously, if we were going to release some of our old wounding or our old injuries and traumas and those limiting beliefs that we hear so much about, we had to kind of figure out where it originated. But according to the Pleiadians, we don't need to do that anymore. So we have a new way that we can process anything that is coming up for us, anything that's feeling sticky. And the way that we can start to do this is by just turning over anything that comes up, whether it is a manifestation in our life that we're not wild about, whether it is a limiting belief that we are just having trouble shaking off, or whether it is something that we are trying to heal in our lives or even in our bodies. What we now have the ability to do is surrender it to our higher self, to turn over whatever that sticky issue is to the part of us that knows the solution. So what the P's are encouraging us to start playing with is whenever something comes up that we would normally really start to dig into within ourselves, to try to heal, try to understand, try to release, the guides are encouraging us now to just surrender it, to turn it over to our master consciousness, or as the P's like to describe it, to the part of you that knows the solution. Because one of the things that has been so challenging about the spiritual work we've been doing is we've had to figure it out from our limited consciousness. And it could be really tricky to uncover what our unconscious beliefs are. They were unconscious for a reason. So a lot of us have really struggled with this over the years of trying to understand what the actual issues are that we're dealing with. Because the ego mind will hide them from us. The mind will bury the real cause under layers of red herrings and can kind of keep us chasing our tail for a long time. So the P's are encouraging us to short circuit this process by taking anything that is coming up for you, whether it is an issue in your life, or even those big things that we're seeing kind of manifesting in the world around us that can be a little alarming, and turn them over to our higher consciousness. And the way that we do this and the way that this process works is essentially through a process of surrender. So as the P's always encourage us to do, the way that you can go about playing with this new technique is to take anything that is feeling a little scratchy for you, a little sticky, and bring it into your heart space. And you've heard them talk about this in a number of videos. But then the second part of this process is to actually surrender it to your higher self, to your master consciousness. And a great way to do this is just to say silently to yourself, I don't know the answer to this problem. I don't know what the solution is to this issue, but I turn it over to my master consciousness, to the part of me that knows the answer. And that's all you have to do, because an interesting thing happens as we start to surrender things to our higher consciousness. We take ourselves out of the way, because most of us are kind of in a practice of spinning the problem around in the mind. And for most of the things that we are dealing with, we will never find the solution through the mind. So this is where turning things over to your higher consciousness can be so helpful and so effective. Because essentially what we are doing is we are turning the problem over to the part of us that knows the answer. Because as the Pleiadians like to remind us, when our higher self created this problem or perceived problem, at the same time, it created the perfect solution. And the only thing that is standing in the way of us and the solution is the mind. So by taking anything that comes up to you that doesn't feel good, pulling it into your heart space and surrendering it to your master consciousness, you take yourself out of the way. And usually we are the only ones that are in the way. So this is a process that is becoming available to us in the new energies. It is not something that was necessarily available to us a few years ago, but now we will find that we can start to just very quickly take anything that comes up for you that doesn't feel good, scoop it into your heart and turn it over. Just ask your higher self to bring you the solution. And what happens to that is, first off, you take yourself out of resistance because you're not doing that human thing that we all tend to do where we play with it with the mind, like a cat playing with a toy, right? Because the mind will play with the problem pretty much forever. So this is one of the things that separates us from the solution to any problem is the mind, playing with it in the mind, in the ego. So when you turn it over, you take the mind out of it. And as you do that, the second amazing thing that happens is you take yourself out of resistance with the problem, because the resistance is what keeps the problem activated. And as soon as you turn the problem over, surrendering it to the part of you that created it and that knows the solution to it, you keep yourself out of resistance with the issue. And as you stay out of resistance, you are no longer blocking the solution. So this is a process that the P's have been offering lately, and I'm finding it incredibly helpful because the cool thing about it is you don't have to know all the who, what, where, when, and why of a particular issue. You just turn it over if it doesn't feel good to you. So just wanted to offer this to you. The P's wanted to share this in today's POV to give you another way to process some of the things that have been coming at us from the collective lately, because this will work not only with issues in your life, but what you're seeing in the world around you. So that is what the P's had for us in this week's point of view. Let me know in the comments below how you're doing in these energies. Drop that in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget, hit the subscribe button and the like button if you haven't done that yet. And as always, if you need any extra help, check out my Starseed Mastery class at the link in the description below. I'll see you next time. Bye.